Be grateful you don't have wrists that look like mine. I don't react well to stress. It's one of the reasons why I never see him when I smoke. Yeah, great. Shoot me now. Put me down. Thing is, when the person who purports to be your brother tries to shut down your father's will, and currently I don't know what he did to get the caveat. I'll find that out. That isn't why I'm making this. The stress from family after my father died, my brother took his actions. I was rather ill. Brackets, understatement of the year. And I ended up in hospital. Psychosis. Pretty bad actually. There for a couple of weeks. Doctors were marvellous. I think I've got her name written down somewhere. Nice lady. Looked like my ex, unfortunately. Beautiful. Literally, without the NHS, I would not be here now. On 2 occasions, they have saved my life this year. I hope that sounds emphatic enough. There are many causes for malnutrition. For me, one of them was stress. There have been others at different times in my life, but they've always been, shall we say, related. But let's go back to the joys of the NHS, and I do emphasise when I say that, although I have many things I'd like to say about that particular wing, and I have ranted on another occasion about that, the treatment I received from the nurses there was exemplary, albeit 2 of them didn't like me, and that was personal, nothing to do with nursing or anything, or me being awkward. I'll honestly say I admired 90%. No. Be fair, Neil. I admired 98% of the people I met. I could be awkward about the 2 occurrences, but I will never be. When my mother died, I never blamed the particular hospital involved, although I could have. Still a bit irked about that one. She waited 23 hours to be seen by a doctor. That's the state of the NHS today. 2009. Who was in power that day? Conservatives, Labour, does it matter? They've all underinvested. And that's who I blame for my mother's death, by the way. The government of the day. Do I know who the government of the day was? Right now I can't remember, no. It doesn't matter. They've both underinvested in the NHS. Labour, Conservative. And yet twice this year the NHS has saved my life. There's a couple of people there, like I said, who think I'm an awkward bugger. I am, aren't I? The NHS is marvellous. It's an institution that we should appreciate, and yet so few of us do. We take it for granted. It should have been paid for years ago. I mean, properly paid for years ago. And yet governments of every hue would far rather support wars in other countries while our pensioners need to stay warm, while the NHS needs inward investment. But let's give money to Ukraine. Why? Does that affect a pensioner in our country now? Does that affect somebody needing a bedpan on a ward that's about to be closed? No, it doesn't. Do you know what? I don't care. I want this money to stay in England. I don't want money to be going to Israel to kill more Palestinians or more Lebanese or whomever they decide to kill tomorrow. That money belongs in the United Kingdom. It's called our tax, to be spent on us as a people. Not investing on others' wars, invest in our old age pensioners who need warmth. Invest in our NHS. Hell, start taxing those who have got vacant homes in London and haven't paid fair tax for many, many, many years. And that's one I have researched a couple of times. Please try to correct me on that one. I am sick of individuals not paying tax. We need your money. The country needs your money. You've been avoiding it for years, haven't you? You should be paying it, like everyone else does, but you don't. You've got a nice little lawyer or a banker or an accountant or whomever sits down and does that for you and screws us. The NHS needs your money, mate. And before I go, what's the difference between a scrounging unemployed git and Starmer getting all his allowances? Having worked with the homeless, I find that a really intriguing question to ask myself. I truly regret voting for Labour in the last election. They are behaving like the new Conservatives. They are doing things right now that will affect our country for decades. Don't get me wrong, Thatcher did the same. She stole my milk. She helped kill the railways. She killed the mines. I'll give her the railways. It was other Conservatives who did that one. That goes back to 66, but we won't go there. Well, I could. Yeah, get me started on that one. The Conservatives killed off the railways. Thatcher stole my milk. She killed off the mines. And do you know what? Everyone says, forget the past. Well, here's one for you. The past makes the present. The present makes the future. That isn't difficult. Thatcher's decisions back then affected our present now. The lack of investment in the NHS is affecting us now. So while Starmer is taking his allowances, while other MPs are following his lead, and we invest in war, Ukraine, Israel, does it matter which? They're all the same. The deaths of other people, and other people don't matter. Well, in England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, our pensioners are dying, Mr Starmer. You get your allowances. You get a reasonable wage, actually better than most. And yet you're just abdicating responsibility, your responsibility. You're saying, it's all the Conservatives' fault. It isn't. It's yours now. Honeymoon period is over. People are leaving your party for a reason, because they've got honour. You never said that you'd be... I don't want to say that. You never said that you would be dropping large loads on the elderly as soon as you get into power. But you've done that. You're now ranting about the NHS and claiming as much money as you can on allowances. Oh, and did I forget the wars that you want to invest in? You'd rather invest in death than the life of our people. Why? Do you have any humanity? Please, Mr Starmer, answer me. Do you prefer the death of the others, those with a different coloured skin, than those in this country? Oh, sorry, you're killing those in this country as well. I've forgotten about that. Your policies are killing people. You're aware of that, and yet you still send money abroad while we need money in this country. Oh dear, I think I've waffled too long. I've just checked the clock. Dear me. This place saddens me at times, and people like you, Mr Starmer, sadden me greatly. I thought the Labour Party was meant to be a party for the people. Well, the people are being screwed. And the money they need is being sent abroad to fight other people's wars. You think that's right? No, I don't. People like you sadden me. Labour, the New Conservatives.